Good morning, guys. Welcome back. I hope y'all are getting some warm weather where you guys are at. This week, it's been pretty warm here this week. It's been like 30s for several days, and I was being a good employee this week at work and gave up my day off, my normal day off, to go into work because we had some stuff going on at work, and literally the warmest day of the year so far. It was like 42 degrees, and I'm in Fahrenheit in case any of you guys aren't in the US, but yeah, warmest day of the year, and I decided to be generous and go to work, and I was so mad at myself for it. But yeah, I got today off, and Grace has a vet appointment today, so I'm waiting for the vet to get here. I need to go out and feed them first, but she has a vet appointment, and my poor vet, I think every year I have my vet come to like some new farm or new address, and he's probably like, but yeah, between my dad's, my friend's house, well, actually, I don't know if he ever went to the old barn. He went to one of my other barns, and today I'm having him come here. I just sent him a text, just a reminder to come to this address, because I think he probably has like 5 addresses of mine on file. So, but yeah, she has a vet appointment this morning. I really, really like my vet. He has taken care of all of my horses, and that is just one thing when you have horses that are constantly needing vet care. Find a good vet and like just stick with them, because it makes life so much easier. And another thing I really like about this vet's office that I go out of is they are so good with payments. I rack up like this huge bill every year and just like gradually pay it off as the year goes on. And some vets offices won't let you do that, and they're super stingy about it. And that's just really annoying. So yeah, this vet has taken care of all of my horses, took care of Soccer and Sugar forever. He took care of Emma when Emma colicked. He took care of Luna when Luna choked. He gelded Mojo for me. He put Soccer down. He's always done all of my work. So yeah, when you find a good vet, just stick with them. And you know what? This one is also really reasonably priced. I had a vet that I took my dog Chaz to for a while that was so insanely priced. So I like this guy. He's pretty cool. So he is going to be here soon, probably in an hour or so. I need to go catch Grace. And Grace hasn't been caught in a while because obviously it's winter, so she's just been sitting. So I'm sure she's going to love that. But yeah, so basically Grace has been bleeding, and it's weird. We don't really understand what's going on. At least I don't, because I've never had this happen before. But I want to say like a month and a half ago, maybe it's been 2 months. I don't feel like it's been that long, but we started noticing like some blood drippings. Like I would notice it when I'd go out to do chores, like on the white snow. Obviously there would be like a little bit of blood drippings, and I didn't know where it came from, which if it was either one of the horses. So I was kind of like, oh, that's weird, like someone must have slipped and fell or something, and didn't really think a lot of it. And then I saw it again and was like, okay, is somebody cut? Like, is somebody injured? BB looked totally fine. Grace has like this long woolly mammoth hair, so I kind of like checked her over and didn't find anything. So I was like, okay, weird. And then I saw it again by the water tank, and it was kind of like on her lips. And so we figured out it was coming from Grace, and like I saw it a couple times by the water tank, and this was when I was without a de-icer, so the tank was just a solid block of ice. And so I was like, well, the only thing that would make sense to me is she's putting her face or like her tongue on the ice and ripping it off, so it's making her mouth bleed, because I couldn't find like any cuts or anything like on her lips, on her gums, like everything looked fine. So yeah, I was like, she's probably doing that and pulling her face off, and it's making it bleed. Well, it kind of has become more often that we see it, and lately it hasn't even been like just a couple of bloody drips out of her mouth. Like, she's full on drooling blood. Like, it's all over the ground. And like some days I'll go out and it's like on her legs and on her chest, and like it's even started to like drip and then froze on her lips. I've found like chunks of frozen blood like in the hay, and there's just like blood everywhere, and I don't know why. What is just profusely bleeding out of her mouth. She's acting fine, she's eating fine. You would not know that there's anything wrong with her other than the blood that's like dripping, just drooling, foamy grossness out of her mouth. So I was like, okay. I sent a picture to my vet and asked him, you know, like, what do you think about this? She's fine otherwise, but like, if you think I need to go further with this, let me know. And he was like, well, really, it could be coming from two things. It could be coming from her lungs, or she might have some sort of cancer or something causing it. And so I was like, oh, that's great. Well, she does have heaves, so she does have a lung condition. At least, honestly, you guys, from what I was told, it was heaves. I am not super experienced with heaves. So when I adopted her out, you know, the rescue had said that they had gotten her vetted, aged her from 10 to 12 years old, and she has heaves. And she obviously has heaves. Like, when it's really hot outside, she breathes very heavy and loudly. If she even trots for like 2 minutes, she coughs. And so that was like not a big deal to me. But anyway, I told him that, and then I really hope it's not cancer, so that would be, you know. But she also is a hard keeper, like a really hard keeper. Ever since I put weight back on her, I think she has maybe lost a little bit recently because I switched their grain, and so I'm trying to get that put back on her. But it would make sense to me if there is something wrong with her, like an actual health issue wrong with her, because even if she is 10 to 12 years old, she's obviously some sort of draft mix, and I just don't think a draft mix should be a hard keeper. Like, they're pretty, they're bred pretty metabolically easy keepers. So, yeah, she's got a vet appointment soon, so we're just gonna find out. I think I'm hopefully gonna have some blood drawn on her and see what's going on, but I figured I would vlog. I'd like to work with Oakley a little bit today too, so I'll see you guys out there. Okay, so the vet's running a bit late. It's like 9:30 right now, and they said they just left the clinic, so they're gonna be a little bit longer. But I got the girls in their stalls here. A little update on Grace. She's looking kind of skinny again. Hi, pretty girl. So, yeah, hope that we're gonna try and get that back up a little bit. She gets a lot of beet pulp right now, like a whole feed scoop's worth of beet pulp and alfalfa pellets, oats, chia seeds, aloe vera, oil. Is that it? I think that's it. And then I obviously put a bunch of water on it. But Yeah, she doesn't look like she's bleeding today. What is she doing? I don't know, she's been chewing weird too, so. And she's been doing that. Like, she does it with her grain and with the hay, where she just like tries to get a giant mouthful. And I'm like, have you been doing that? Because that's weird. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they say. But like, obviously she's eating fine. She's just been, oh yeah, see it? Yeah, she's been eating fine. She's just like chewing weird, and then, like when she eats, I don't know if she'll do it again. Sometimes she just like opens her mouth and like chews really odd, like very wide. I mean, like normally horses just chew with their mouth closed, but she's just been like blah, 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 eating. My cat's eating a chicken over here. Freaking weird. My dog got out like a month or two ago and killed 3 of my chickens. And so like I offered the chickens to the cats. I don't know, that probably sounds really weird, but they were already dead. I don't eat meat. And so I was like, well, I don't want like the carcass to just go to waste, so like the chickens could eat it. Or the cats, but they didn't want it. Now they do, I guess. Good girl. Are you getting sleepy already? You can get your teeth looked at. Good girl. Just let your head go, so I'm not gonna waste my energy. You're Alright guys, it's later in the day now, and remember this morning how I said it was so nice out and stuff? Okay, this cat, that one, that black and white one, has showed up out of nowhere all of a sudden, and I'm gonna guess it's a tomcat that's here after Miss Tink. Tink, are you in heat? You ready to have more babies? Yeah, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, said it was nice this morning and stuff. Now it's cold and windy just for that. So I just got back from a barn tour. So yeah, I toured a barn. I wouldn't really call it local, but not too far from here. I applied at it basically. They are looking to add a few more staff members to their team. So I applied there because I'm looking to get out of my retail job. A lot of you guys ask me what I do for a living, and I work in retail. I'm gonna put you guys on a tripod so I don't have to hold this. I work in retail. I've done management, and I just don't want to do it anymore, honestly. yeah, I just don't want to work where I work anymore. It's just got to the point, like, there's sometimes you get a job and it's pretty good for a while, but it just becomes like a place that is so draining and so emotionally exhausting that it's not serving me anymore. And I want to have a job that I really enjoy. And so I've been looking around, keeping an eye out for barns wanting help, and something part-time as well, because this year I really want to do more of my horse training and focusing on my own business, but I also want to have like some guaranteed supplemental income for like my electric bill and like to buy groceries with. So yeah, so that's where this barn is going to come in. And so yeah, it was a really nice facility, really nice people, so hopefully they're going to get back to me soon. But let's talk about Grace's appointment earlier. So some of my suspicions were confirmed with Grace. So if you guys are new here, I adopted Grace from a rescue back in April. This rescue, they seem like they are good people and they are doing good things for horses, but this rescue in particular, I have noticed anyways that they have never claimed to be a nonprofit. They've never claimed to be a 501c3. They've never claimed anything like that. Really, they claim that all of their money goes back into the horses, but yeah, so, and they do a lot of sale barn rescuing. So basically they go to these sale barns where horses get sold for meat and they rescue them and they bring them home and they resell them. So that's where Grace came from, and I'm pretty sure that's how they make their living, which is fine. But they were obviously not completely honest with me about her condition and her health. And yeah, so Grace was sold to me. I bought Grace for like $1,000, and they sold her to me as a gypsy vanner, 10 to 12 years old, a project under saddle. So she's obviously not a gypsy vanner. Like, she's not. She definitely looks like a draft cross to me just because of her genetics and her build, but she's not a gypsy vanner. And I know that now, the longer that I've had her, the more that I look at her, she's not built like a gypsy vanner. So I kind of ruled that out. My guess was like a spotted draft or a cross. So the vet, I kind of had suspicions on like if she was actually 10 to 12 or if she had some sort of really concerning health disorder because of how hard of a keeper she's been. Grace's adoption picture, like the picture that was advertised of her, was plump and healthy. And when I went to pick her up from this rescue, she was skin and bones. And if you guys have been watching, you know that. Like, there's the video of the day that I went to get her. She was skin and bones when I picked her up. So honestly, I don't even think it was that the rescue wasn't feeding her. I think they were feeding her, but she was dropping weight. And the first time I inquired about her, they wanted $2,200 for her. And then the second time I inquired about her, they told me $1,000. So I think she was like drastically dropping weight and they needed to get her rehomed. So they dropped the price in her, because I got all the weight back on her. She looked really good. And then just recently she has lost a little bit of weight again. So I can tell she is a very hard keeper and is just going to be sensitive that way. So I honestly had suspicions if she was not 10 to 12, if she was much older. Or she had like cancer or something and that's why she was dumped off at a sale barn. But yeah, I explained all that to the vet and was like, if you think she's older, like, let me know by the looks of her teeth. And he definitely looking at her teeth, he said, yeah, she definitely looks long in her front teeth to be 12. So, older than 12 for sure. But we figured out why her mouth was bleeding. So it is my hay. And I had kind of wondered that. And honestly, I don't even know now how I didn't see it, but I'm gonna try and insert the picture that I took of her mouth when he got here. Pretty significant open sores in her gums and on her top lip, which would also explain how I was explaining to you guys this morning how she's been eating weird. Like she's just been like chomping and taking big bites, not really using her lips to eat. So yeah, there's her lips. And so he scraped them and scraped all of the little needles out of it. And so I've talked about foxtail on my channel before, and in the one video I made about foxtail, I had stated in that video that I have never had a horse sensitive to foxtail, and I really haven't. Like, none of my horses have ever been sensitive to it. So Grace is my first one that has ever had this issue. And the vet he told me as well, he's like, I just did a couple of horses like this within the last 2 weeks, and a lot of horses are not sensitive to it at all, and then there's some like this that get really, really irritated by it. So it's not that you have bad hay, it's just that this horse is more sensitive to it than your other horses are. So yeah, like BB has had no problems. BB has not, I have not seen a speck of blood come out of her mouth. Soccer and Sugar never had any issues with round bale or like foxtail type of grasses. Luna has not either, from what I've seen. She has not had any issues with hay. So Grace is my first horse ever that is sensitive to this type of grass. And he even told me it's not foxtail, it's a different type of grass. But in my head, it all looks like foxtail, so I just call it that. But it's not. It's the type of grass that gets those fluffy heads on it, that the seeds come off. And those little itty bitty needles, I guess, they're not really like needles, but that's what they look like. They get stuck in her lip like that and make it really sore and tender. And so he scraped out as much as he could get out, and then, yeah, basically told me to take her off that hay. So the other thing he did, I had him float her teeth because I just wanted to make sure her teeth were good and that wasn't an issue. So her top teeth were kind of sharp, so he did her teeth, and then he also did this. He pulled this out. So she did have a bad tooth that needed pulled out, so he just he had like this set of long pliers with like the end of them stuck upward, and he just literally put his pliers on it and wiggled it out, and it just came out. So that was another thing he told me. He was like, even if she was a teenager, 15, 16 years old, a tooth, even a bad tooth, would not just wiggle out like this. And I said, so she's probably old. And he said, yeah, she's probably old. So yeah, that's kind of the updates on Grace. I did get a blood draw done on her, so he took a blood sample, and he's gonna take that back to the clinic and just do a blood test on it, just in case she's got any other conditions or anything that I need to be aware of. I just wanted a quick blood draw on her. But that's the update from the vet appointment. Kind of disappointing. I definitely feel like, I don't know if the rescue lied to me saying that she was old or just didn't know, so they went with 10 to 12. But I think for this point, like if she really is closer to, if she's in her 20s or is older, then honestly, I'm to the point where she's a good horse. Other than like the high maintenance feeding, she's not a bother to have around. She respects the fence. She's not a picky eater. I'm probably just gonna keep her, honestly. Like if she's just got a few years left in her, I may as well just keep her here. as long as I can afford it, of course. She's a good horse, and I feel like she's probably been through enough as it is that she kind of deserves a soft place to land and a home. So yeah, here's her tooth. Isn't that weird? But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am gonna go out in a little bit and do a little bit of work with Oakley, and then I have the last session I did with her on video as well, so I want to upload a separate video just for her little training sessions. So that's all I have for you guys today, and stay tuned for the next videos. Bye.